Well, it's basically be about maintenance on chainsaws and log splitters. Now, this is gonna be like the gist of it, kind of like when I'm done using my chainsaws. This is what I do to do preventive maintenance on them. This is how they aren't so gunked up and everything else, basically. So what I usually like to do is take the cover off, take the air filter cover off. Well, take the ball and chains off. Now, these are these chainsaw dogs are aftermarket. Those are not OEM by any means. These I got off what did I get them off of? So what did I get them off of? I got them off Amazon. Because before, the old ones were pretty small. They were probably like half the size of these. So this right now, I have them on each side, basically. So, last night's upgrade that I did this year. I'm not videotaping because I was on a time crunch. But, besides the point though. I usually will take these off, blow all inside there, blow all this off, the inside, everything. With a compressor. That's what I like to do for preventative maintenance. And then what I also will do usually is I'm not gonna take anything off today. I usually will like to take the air filter off completely and blow that out really well. Blow around the carburetor and everything else. And the same thing with this one. Blow it off, take the case off. Now, with chainsaw bars, the groove that these teeth slide in, it will get gunked up sometimes. So I'll take the ink pressure and just blow right to that opening. Basically. That's what I usually like to do. And then also this right now I have the bar off for reasons. Not because it doesn't work, just because I've got the upcoming project for the chainsaw. The upcoming, I guess, upgrading call it for this chainsaw. Which I might not videotape, but we'll see. I'll show you a clip of what I did for the upgrade. But I am waiting on a part for it for another few days, so yeah, basically. Probably in a few videos you'll see what I upgraded the saw to. I'm not getting rid of it, I'm not getting another chainsaw, but I am gonna improve this one with one upgrade to it. And what you also should look at too is blow the this up too, where the starter recoil is. Blow all this off, because this can sawdust and everything else can collect up here. Then you can see some sawdust right there. Blow all this out. This way, the more gunk you get built up in it, the harder it is for the chainsaw for you to start it. Just taking the time to blow all that out, everything else is very handy. And also, make sure you need a good fuel mixer. I don't use these often. I mainly depend on them for fire yard. So, that being said, I don't use them like switchovers do. I usually will use them every so often. Sometimes I'll use them for a week straight. I'm not gonna blow it off in the middle of the week. If I use them Monday through Friday, I'll blow it off maybe on the weekend when I'm done using it fully. So like, what I like to do, I will run ethanol-free fuel through both of these chainsaws, pre-mixed. This way, the fuel doesn't go bad. So the next time I need to cut wood with it, I don't have to worry about the fuel going bad. And I know it will start next time. So that's something else to consider to what fuel you're running. Also. And then, I usually will take a compressor, blow out all the tiny little ports, all the tiny little openings, everything. To make sure it is sound and proof. And these, I will do a video about these another time, because I want to do the other upgrade. When I modify this chainsaw, when I improve this chainsaw, I'll show you that upgrade. Not how I did it, but I'll show you a clip of it. And I'll talk about these more. But besides the point though. And this one has a greasable bar tip. So that hole right there, there's one on the other side too on the top. Well, that's for his grease, to make sure this slides nice and smoothly, basically. So taking the time to grease that is very smart on the bars. This one, steel sensor bars, does not have a greasable tip. It doesn't have a greasable tip. So you cannot grease the steel ones. But I know on the Echo ones you can grease them, because right there and if you don't, you can't put too much grease in them. You really just can't. Because the grease is lubricating that tip right there to make sure it slides nice and smoothly. Basically. And another thing you want to do to make sure is your chainsaws. Make sure they are sharp. Don't be wanting dull chains, and know what you're wanting for a chain style. Because there's all sorts of ones. There's square ground, hexa, skip tooth, full comp, round, safety, a full chisel. There's all sorts of different ones. But for regular homeowner, the ones you can get at like the Home Depot are fine. Now what this is a low profile 3/8 chain, as you can see right there. So this isn't a full 3/8 chain, but it's a 3/8 low profile chain. And that's a 16-inch bar. And this one takes a 5/32 file. Now on the big one, it has a full 3/8 chain. A full 3/8 chain, 20-inch chain. And then I'll use either a 7/32 file or a 1660 volts file, or I will use the chainsaw sharpener grinder, or I'll use that. I can use chainsaw grinder on this one too. All depends. Like if I'm on a job site or something, I just will hand file that. And a good practice is, after each time you want to have gas, hand file it. Well, I mean, touch the chain up, so you aren't wanting dull chains. So or keep extra chains with you too. Now I went into a detailed voice okay with you one using chainsaws. That was my last video, so you should go check it out. So I keep extra chains with you. But yeah, like make sure everything works on them, like the chain brake works, everything else. And then other than that, basically take the air filters off, take the covers off, blow out all the crevices, everything else. What I always like to make sure I do is blow around the fuel and oil cap to make sure there's no gunk that gets into the tank and clogs the carburetor up. So like, when I'm coming, usually like all this gets covered in sawdust. It just does. I do want sharp chains, by all means I do. But usually like right here where all the chips and stuff sticks to because of the oil, it's very easy to spill oil on chainsaws. I don't care what brand you have. It's very easy to overfill these tanks. And when you overfill them, it makes a mess. So usually sawdust likes to gunk up around the caps and everything else. Taking the time to blow those off detailedly is very good. Now, I'll basically like kind of maintenance on them. Like you should replace the spark plugs, a filter, fuel filter, spark plug, yeah, and then a filter. And then what I'm gonna do is this coming spring, what I'm planning to do is get a maintenance kit for them. What I mean by that is I'll get a filter, fuel filter, spark plug for both of these, and replaces parts for preventive maintenance. Probably do that spring. So I use these a lot this year. I mean, I think I cut roughly 7 plus, roughly 14 quarters this year. I think I cut roughly, not exact, but I think roughly I cut 14 quarters this year with these. So this spring, I think I'm gonna do is get the spark plugs, everything else for them to maintain them and replace the spots, basically. So that's what I usually like to do, is take care of them. That's how I take the time to take care of them, make sure they last a lifetime, basically. Now, onto the log splitter. And this is a very cool gift I got for Christmas that I'll be making a video about too at some point. Not sure when, but at some point I will. So like, on a log splitter, what you should do is, every so often, change the oil on these. Change the oil, change the hydraulic fluid. I did not do that. I got this used this year and I did not do that. All I did was change the filter. So like, what you should do on these is, a filter right here, you should take time to blow every once in a while. And then change the oil on the engine. What I'm gonna do that this spring, change the oil on the engine this spring. And then maybe the hydraulic fluid too, I haven't decided yet. But definitely I will change the oil on the engine this spring. Now, let's see, if you're storing for long periods of time, like the lawnmower for instance. If you're storing for long periods of time, like for winter, I can't mow grass in winter of course, make sure you put a good fuel stabilizer in the engines. Do not buy Stable. I would not recommend Stable at all. It says there are claims on it that are complete and utter lies. It has been tested. I've watched videos and experience about Stable on YouTube. Not even probably recommend. That's what I forgot to say. I won VP Racing Fuels pre-mixed 50-1 ratio in these chainsaws. I'll go to usually Sioux Valley Home Depot. No, Home Depot. Tractor Supply. Either Tractor Supply or Sioux Valley. I'll go get a few gallons. Usually, my gas tank is a 2-gallon gas tank for my pre-mixed. Not for my weed whacks, but for my chainsaws. All one ethanol free. And I do not recommend True Fuel either. You can get it at Home Depot. I do not recommend that fuel at all. I would never buy that fuel. I would never run that fuel in my engines at all. Pump gas is better than that crap, since every fuel is not made equally. So if you're gonna want True Fuel and you mixed it free pre-mixed, I would not want True Fuel. Some people have not had bad luck with it, but personally, I would not recommend it. I just run it. It's a crappy fuel. It makes your engines run at low RPMs than what they should be running at, so you don't get full power out of them, basically. So True Fuel is not something I recommend at all. And then I'll run pump gas to my log splitter. Right now I have mechanical anti-bottle on it, which is the same thing as ethanol shield, which is this stuff basically, and then mechanical anti-bottle is basically the same thing. So what I like to do is fill the 4-stroke engines up with gas, same thing with my reed macros and blowers. Fill it up with gas, and then put some sort of fuel stabilizer in them and run them for a few minutes. Just make sure I get it mixed in the carburetors, so when springtime comes around, it starts right up. So yeah, that's what I look for and also I usually like to do, usually 8 times out of 10, I'll take the backpack blower and blow all this off. I'll blow the dust off, all the dust and crap that collects on around the engine, blow it off. And what's good is, what you should do is, right here, with the wedge slides back and forth, put on grease. Put white lithium grease. Just cover this in it, and get all the crevices. Just cover this in it, basically. This way, this slides nice and back. The slide smoothly back and forth. It's good lubricant on this too. Try to spray, just cover this, just coat it in that stuff. Grease is not going to hold the machine at all. So another thing with log splitters, just coat it. We have that what slides. Another thing too is, make sure you have air in the tires, because these could go flat if you don't use it for long periods of time. And this is a hydraulic filter for the hydraulic fluid. The hydraulic fluid will run through this first, basically to clean said engine. Well, not clean the engine, but to make sure any contaminants don't go through the engine and the hydraulic fluid. So replacing these is very good practice. When I got this lock splitter, the old one was rusted out. I mean, it was complete rust. It still ran fine, but I took the time and changed it. And this way I prevented maintenance. This way nothing bad happens, that hopefully nothing does. And to go over it again, the things to look for, things to do is check the air filter. That's something I would consistently do. Check the oil level to make sure you have enough oil in there. Because if you don't have oil, the cylinder could weld itself to the sides of the wall. And that would be bad news. And change the oil every so often. There's two things so far I would do. Change the hydraulic fluid at some point. And then change the filter for the hydraulic fluid too at some point. And then make sure you keep this nice and greased up. Always. And then what I usually like to do is take a blower, blow all of it off when I'm done using it. Take it, all the dust off, any piece of bark that have fallen around the engine, just blow it off completely, basically. That's what I like to do to keep my lock splitter. I can't talk today. Keep it in check and keep my sensors running at tip-top shape, basically. Those are the things I like to do for preventive maintenance to make sure everything's running at full cylinders. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. If you enjoy this type of content, please comment down below and let me know. If you like this content, if you want to see me actually doing work, subscribe and there'll be more videos coming down the pipeline to you. So if you enjoyed, if you like the content, comment down below, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share the video with your friends and family, or even share it on social media. That works too. So I really appreciate you guys sticking along for this video, and I hope you enjoy the talk about maintenance on machines. So I hope you enjoyed. Have a good one. And have a great day, great morning, afternoon, or night whenever you're watching this video. Thank you very much, and have a great one.